Hi guys, welcome back. So I think I've decided not to blow some dust away, not to fill this with resin. I think that would make it too heavy. I think it's a good weight right now. The weight of the magnets, this copper infused PLA, and the sleeve. I thought maybe the sleeve might be a little bit too thick, but I think it'll be fine. Um, it'll mean that the magnet will be about 5 millimeters away from the coil. I think that'll be fine. So I repositioned the disc magnet captive housings, whatever you want to call them. Like I said, I'm not going to reprint those because they're fine. I mean, I have the file. I could reprint them, but I really don't want to. It's really not necessary. So right now I'm using ultra thin crazy glue, just gluing down in the cracks here. And I'll do the same when I put the skin on, or the sleeve. I've decided it'll be about 8.5 inches. So this guy will be right about there. I think that's a good position. I actually wanted it to be a little bit closer, but I think 8.5 will do fine. I can always cut this down a little bit because I made this. In fact, I think I'm going to cut it down to 8 inches. Yeah. All right, stay tuned. All right, so I've got a bunch of these ball bearings, which is what I'm going to use on the end of the focus U. I'm going to use on the end of the carbon fiber rod. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to 3D print out a little cup that has a stem that fits in the end there. Oops, sorry. A little cup. I think that's what I did the last time. I printed out a little cup type thing that has a stem that will slide in there. And then I also have to print out a very fine sleeve for the barrel magnet because it's just a little bit bigger than the diameter. The ID of the barrel magnet is a little bit bigger than the OD of the carbon fiber rod. So let me go and figure that out, and then I'll be back. Stay tuned. All right, quick update on the new rotor build. So all the fancy printing I tried to do, I tried to print out these little end caps that can hold the ball bearings, and they worked, but what I ended up going with was just something really simple. I took a bigger diameter I had from the old, yeah, here it is, the old carbon fiber tube, cut a small piece of it, popped it on there, and voila. Oh, wait a minute. What did I just do? Oh, no. I forgot to put the rotor on. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You wouldn't believe how much work that was. Oh, boy. Back to the drawing board. You got to be kidding me. Thank God I've got plenty of that tube. Anyway, now that I know how to do it, it shouldn't be too hard. But man, I can't believe I did all that. Got the ball bearing on there. It's perfectly set up so that it'll sit inside here at the exact place. And I forgot to put the rotor on. Oh my God. Stay tuned. Yeah, so I always anticipate failure. So I buy multiple of them. So now that I've got the rod on there and it's spaced evenly, now I can go ahead and put the end caps on with the bearings. Ay, ay, ay. It took me a couple of hours to get to that point because I kept trying to print out something like this, which works good, but I didn't take into account the distance from the back wall here out to where the magnet needs to be. So the magnet needs to be, so it's just proud of this outer magnet, which turns out to be about 20 millimeters. And these alone are like 20 millimeters. So they're no good. So I have to use the other method, which works just fine, using this older carbon fiber tube. Yeah, it's coming along pretty soon. All right, stay tuned. All better. All better. Came out pretty nice. Had to jerry rig a few things, but I always do that when I'm rushing. But it's gonna hold just fine. Cause this outer carbon rod tube is a really tight fit on this, and with a little bit of crazy glue it should hold fine. And these magnets, when they're sitting inside here, are being pulled against this back plate, the glass plate, so it'll be pulled against this right here, so it should all be just fine. Unfortunately, it's getting late and I farted around too much with this. I'm not going to be able to get it running today, but soon. Thanks for watching. Ciao.